Hey guys, welcome. This is Idle Hands, and I'm back today with my Dark Lord and Endless Tower video. Um, so for this week, what I did was take on Dark Lord and Doppelganger at floor 80. I would have done a 2 times Dark Lord video, but there wasn't any channel that offered that boss, either in 80 or 90. Now before we start, there's just a couple of things that everyone just needs to understand. Dark Lord is demon race and large, but he's mostly a caster. He's actually a tri-element caster, so he uses fire, wind, and ice in his spells, which makes him one of the hardest bosses to defeat in Endless Tower. Now, I keep on saying that he's hard in Endless Tower because in field he's actually very easy. The field version of Dark Lord is kind of weak, but the Endless Tower version is just way beyond that. I mean, he gets a very huge boost in his attack and magic attack, but in exchange he gets lower HP compared to that in field. So again, in field he has lower damage but has higher HP, but in Endless Tower he has higher damage but lower HP. So going back to his spells, so he casts Lord of Vermilion, Storm Gust, Meteor Storm, Firewall, Fireball, um, and he also has Meteor Attack, if I'm not mistaken. So all of those spells are very deadly indeed. Actually, the spell that will probably kill you the most would either be Storm Gust or Meteor Storm. So I will switch over to the video in a couple of seconds, but before that, let me just say up front, I will not be including the equips in this video. Um, I will do it in a latter video, specifically targeting a floor wherein there are 2 times Dark Lords. Because the video here has Doppelganger in it, so the gear I'm using is kind of a mixture um, in terms of being able to deal with their damage. It's still mostly demon. I mean, they're both demon, but Doppel somewhat has physical attack, so you'd also have to consider that. But my advice is, if you are dealing with a floor which has Dark Lord and another different MVP together with it, then you may want to kill Dark Lord first, because he will screw your whole party up if you don't deal with him first. Um, Also, it's more advisable to deal with him head on rather than sniping him. Sniping is really more of a if you can't tank him yet, or if your team isn't strong enough, you may as well snipe him. But sniping takes a lot of time. May take a lot of blue gemstones to resurrect the tank, and you just don't get the feel on how to fight him. Okay, so let me switch over to the video now. Okay, as you can see, we have him pinned in our sweet spot. So you remember that quadrant over there? So that's where you want to have the boss always. But getting him there isn't so easy. To be honest, it's kind of a hard work to get him there. And I wasn't able to take a video of it, but let me try to explain it. So essentially, when you go up, he will probably cast Lord of Vermilion first. And when he casts Lord of Vermilion, he won't go to you right away. He will follow it up with Storm Gust. And after Storm Gust, that's the time when he will move next to you. Okay, that's because Lord of Vermilion and Storm Gust are in cooldown, so he has no other choice but to move close to you. Meteor, I'm not sure what exactly the mechanics is for him to cast it, but you'll notice it. He will not go to you unless he finishes casting Storm Gust first. So what you have to do is you have to go around the whole map first, make sure you cast Lord of Vermilion, wait for him to cast Storm Gust somewhere on the upper left corner, and then move to the snipe spot, and he will surely follow you there. Once you're there, start provoking him or start using taunt. Open a chat box so that you won't get knocked down. In this video, I wasn't able to open a chat box because I have one teammate who who isn't so used with playing yet, and he kept moving, so I had to improvise. So as you can see, Dark Lord's HP is already up, and now we are dealing with Doppelganger. Doppelganger is easy. I mean, as you can see, I actually told my priest to not even use safety wall. So as long as you have the right gears, as long as you have the right cards, this guy is pretty much easy. He's overall a physical MVP. He just uses physical attack. So parry mostly takes care of it. Plus your def and your vid takes care of it. So he is very easy. As for Dark Lord, he's a total beast. He's probably the Endless Tower version of Dark Lord is probably the most difficult boss, one of the most difficult bosses you'll fight in the game, as far as Endless Tower is concerned. Um, he may be overshadowed by some of the Niflheim bosses once Episode 5 comes out, but I still consider him one of the strongest, mainly because he can. I mean, even if it's a paladin that's tanking him, he can just go through the paladin's HP in mere seconds. If you noticed earlier, his um, his Meteor Storm was kind of strong. I mean, it was around 9,000 to 11,000 damage on me. That was only because I was wearing Pasana armor. Um, Otherwise, it would have dealt so much more damage. But then in return, I was getting hit pretty hard by Stormgust, and it was Stormgust that were actually killing me a lot. So yeah, Doppelganger is already done, and now let's talk a little bit more about strategies in Dark Lord. I'm sorry, the rest of the video will be just a black screen. Like what I told everyone, I'm not a YouTuber and I have very limited editing skills. But I wanted to get some extra time in talking about Dark Lord, but the video was already up. So, so for Dark Lord, you just need very basic gears actually. One of the most important ones is the Rune Armor. It's a garment that makes you take 20% less damage from demon and undead monsters, but makes you take 20% more damage from other races. You also want a slotted static shield. You need a slotted static shield for the minus 25% damage from wind, fire, ice, and earth. Also, you also want to put Mark Card in there to get more damage reduction from water. Stormgust is water, and also being immune to freeze. Otherwise, it'll be very hard to tank him if you get frozen the whole time. Um, as for headgear, you want a Hagen Hut with Marduk card. That will give more damage reduction to Daemon, and it will make you immune to silence. Armor, I already said, Pasana is probably the best, or Fire Armor is probably the best armor to use to deal with Dark Lord. Stormgust can be cancelled easily. If I wasn't sniping, if you were taking him head on, I could have opened a chat box, and I could have just timed my provoke to cancel Stormgust. That should be pretty easy. Um, but yeah, so those are pretty much the basic gears. You also want to get Rune Shoes for the extra heal. If you are rich, you may want to get Staunch Rings, 2 pieces of Staunch Rings to get extra heal again. And then also an Isis Pet to get more heal from your High Priest. So, you don't need to be uber strong to deal with Dark Lord. I mean, he's pretty manageable. You just need to have good strategy and the right gears. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked the video. Sorry, the audio recording got cut off. Yeah, I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, and if you do have any requests or any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. Again, thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.